Hey guys, it's Hornet553. Welcome back to another Beyblade X unboxing. Today we're going to be checking out the last of the CX releases from Wave 6 of Hasbro, that being Fort Hornet. So first off, have a look at the box. Standard CX packaging, CX Fort Hornet R 760T. Got a very nice image of the bay itself and the open window. And then on the back of the box, we got, going over the bay itself, so of course the Fort Hornet blade. Has the Hornet lock chip, the Fort primary blade, and the round auxiliary blade. The ratchet is 760, and we have taper for the bit. So let's get into this. So out of the all the bays from Wave 6, at least the CX ones, this is the one I really wanted the most. I think this is definitely going to be a really awesome day. Alright, I'll lay out the parts on the table and we'll go over the bay in more detail. Okay, so here is Fort Hornet out of the packaging. Now, Fort Hornet, for the most part, is a remold of Reaper Incendio. So, that's honestly pretty cool and a fun part. So first off, we'll have a look at the lock chip. Love this lock chip. I think this looks really, really good. Especially with the orange plastic. This is a very nice image of the Hornet in question. I think that looks really, really good. Out of the three new CX bays, I think this one looks the best. I think this looks really, really cool. If you can't already tell, I'm already going to be a bit biased as I think this is going to be my favorite. So next up, we have the Fort primary blade. So this is obviously the main part that has been remolded. So we're bringing the original Incendio blade. So you can see the metal contact points, just like the others, is the exact same, but of course the main difference has been changed is in the plastic. Solid plastic compared to translucent, but now we actually have this really nice like honeycomb to it, which looks pretty cool. There was a question on its height, if this is going to be a bit taller. It's not that much taller. Like, maybe by a hair. So, it's not going to be as tall. It still looks really, really cool. Now, for the contact points, with the plastic, I mean, the Reaper blade didn't really have that much plastic contact points. It's pretty rounded off. So, this is pretty similar. Granted, with how the honeycomb is, you're probably going to be making a bit more contact with the metal, though. Still really, really cool. I think that looks really, really good. Next up, we have the round auxiliary blade. Not really much to talk about here. It's the same one that came with Wizard Arc. I mean, this blade could definitely be a bit more useful now with Cerberus playing. But honestly, I think more people will be using wheel. I think it's definitely a superior auxiliary blade compared to round. There's the QR code. You can scan the Beyblade X app. Again, like I said in my stag review, do keep in mind that all of Wave 6 is currently not in the Beyblade X app at the moment, so you're going to have to wait till that update goes up before you can scan these bays in. Next up, we have 760. Great part to have here in a starter pack, and very, very nice color on this, very honeycomb-like. And I'm also very pleased to report that the 760s that are coming with Fort Hornet have really tight ratchet locks, which is very, very good for competitive. One of the downsides with 760, at least with the initial releases with Leon Crest and Drasil, is that the ratchet locks weren't super tight. But these ones from Fort Hornet have been really, really tight. So I got a feeling a lot of 760 combos are going to be getting a bit of an upgrade. Finally, for the bit, we have taper. Great part to have here. Taper's a really great balance type bit. So, pretty happy to have this here. So altogether with these parts, Fort Hornet is a balance type. So, pretty cool. Alright, let's now do some weights for Fort Hornet. So the taper bit, this weighs, if it wants to stay on the weight, stay, 2.19 grams. Not bad. The 760 ratchet, this weighs 702 grams. The round auxiliary blade, this weighs 4.69 grams. And the Hornet lock chip, this weighs 1.73 grams, so about the average for the lock chip weights. Now, let's weigh the the Fort blade with the Incendiary blade. So the Fort blade, this weighs 29.10 grams, so that's actually pretty good. And then the Reaper blade, this weighs 29.01 grams. So the Fort Hornet blade is slightly heavier. It's known as a bigger gap compared to Antler Stag and Wiggle Kraken. Now, we'll also point out I do have another Fort Hornet blade that actually does weigh a little bit lighter. Actually, weighs about 28.89. So that's a bit of a weight increase on this one here. So as you can see, at least with Fort Hornet, the weight is not going to be that much different compared to Reaper and Incendiary, so that's going to be very interesting. So let's put the CXB together. So the round assist blade with the Hornet lock chip, and then I'll use the assembly tool here to lock it. So there's the full blade. That actually looks pretty cool. So altogether, this weighs 35.52 grams. Obviously, a bit of that weight is obviously influenced by the round assist blade, but I will say, considering the parts, that's not too bad. So let's put the whole bay together. So 760. So yeah, you could probably key that this assist blade, this ratchet's quite a bit tighter, which is really, really good. So there's the full blade with its combo. I think it looks pretty cool, maybe with the exception of the blue. It looks really, really cool. So altogether, Fort Hornet weighs 44.77 grams. So pretty good weight for a CX bay. So let's give this some test spins and some test battles. All right, now we're gonna do some test battles with Fort Hornet along some test spins. So I'm really excited about this. So here it goes. As you can see, being on taper, it is pretty well balanced. I mean, I will say this combo overall should be alright. Maybe with the exception of the round assist blade, but overall, this combo should actually be pretty decent. But if you already have messed with Reaper Incendiary, you do know what to expect from this release, for the most part. But I mean, quite a few people do like Reaper Incendiary. I mean, it's one of the more unique CX based round. But let's give this some test battles. Try a different combo with this, so I'm gonna try this with Assault 450 Hexa. So we're gonna see how it does with this combo here. look at Fort Hornet. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this bay overall. In my opinion, this is definitely my absolute favorite out of the 3 new CX bays that Hasbro's released. Now, is it the best? Probably not. I mean, Reaper Incendio can be an okay CX bay, but it's definitely not the best. And the combo I did try with it was actually pretty garbage. So it definitely did not really show it off the best way. But I mean, I will say this is still going to be a really, really great bay to have. Now, out of the 3, which one should you prioritize on getting? Well, Wriggle Kraken actually has the regular primary blade going for it. Pretty great blade. Stag has the bumper assist blade and the fact that it has essentially a remold of the flame primary blade, so that's what it has going for it. While Hornet has honestly probably the best looking lock chip, along with 760 taper. So all 3 of them actually really have parts that really are pretty desirable overall. I would definitely more so lean towards Fort Hornet, mainly because of the tighter 760, and plus taper is a very useful balance type bit. But honestly, I could still recommend all 3. Now, speaking on Fort Hornet itself, again, pretty happy with how this bay turned out. I mean, looks really, really good. The round assist blade, I mean, it's okay. I mean, you could probably use a different assist blade that works better. Great to have 760, and plus this is a much tighter 760. As you can see, like right there, that is really tight. So great ratchet to have here. And then taper, great balance type bit. So can I recommend Fort Hornet? Definitely. I mean, I can honestly recommend all 3, but probably maybe these 2 a bit more. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Beyblade X videos in the future. And until then, I'll see you all in the next video.